Hello class, welcome to the fall 2021 semester. This is the introduction for EXS 1100, Introduction to Exercise Science. So I have a short PowerPoint I'm going to go through introducing really what exercise physiology is and who I am to you as we start here in week one of the fall 2021 semester. We'll conclude this presentation by going through the syllabus in detail, so you'll have a good feel for what to expect this semester. And then I'll give you a little tour of the online platform that we're using for classes this semester, as it's a little new to everyone, including me, but I'm going to show you how to navigate where everything is for our course. Okay, so first of all, who am I? Professionally, my name is Mike Jett. I am not a PhD, so I'm not a doctor. Instead, I have a Master of Science in Exercise Physiology. I obtained that from the University of Louisville, and I finished that in 2004. Since then, I have also earned several certifications, which you see listed here. So typically the ACSM, which is the American College of Sports Medicine, and the NSCA, which is the National Strength and Conditioning Associations. Those are considered to be the two top organizations in this field. I have certifications from both of those organizations. So I have the ACSM Certified Exercise Physiologist and the NSCA Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. So those are the two of the top certifications that you could get, and I would recommend if any of you are going on into a professional life in this field, those are some great certifications to go after, and I can give you some tips about how to earn those. I also have a precision nutrition certification as well. So I do a lot of nutrition coaching, and that certification was critical in teaching me how to coach people, actually. Okay, so a little more backstory about myself. I actually was a history major in college. Which actually I didn't even mean to say that, but that's true. I was a history major, but my history is what I was trying to tell you. I began teaching in 2004. I began teaching full-time at University of Louisville, where I still do teach full-time, in 2011. I began doing personal and group fitness instruction 2002. I still do that to this day, sort of on the side. I own my own gym / business for 5 years, from 2010 to 2015. And I also did a little high school coaching as well during that period. So I have a lot of experience, outside of teaching. So I have a lot of real world experience in this field. So I'm a great resource for you. If you have questions about trying to narrow down what you want to do with this degree, talk to me about it, and I can give you some of my perspective doing a lot of different things in this field, and can maybe help you narrow down what it is exactly that you would want to do. Personally, so I'm married, I have 3 children, all girls under the age of, 7 now, 7 and under, including a 1.5-year-old, which is absolutely just wearing me out right now. Part of the reason why my voice has low power right now is from chasing that kid around. I love to exercise. I'm kind of wired to move. Now my interests have changed a lot since the year 2020, without a doubt. But now, instead of, running, I'm doing farming, still physically active. So, and you stay in shape doing that kind of stuff. But health has stayed a major interest and priority of mine. And, that's part of the reason why I'm into farming now, because I'm into growing my own food, because I think growing your own food is like the best thing you can do for your health, without a doubt. So that's who I am personally. So let's talk about health for a second. I mentioned one of the keys to health is food. So here are what I identify as the 6 keys to health. Okay, the first one is movement. You have to move every day. Okay, being sedentary is correlated with a lot of chronic diseases, heart disease, hypertension, obesity, etc., etc. The more you move, the less sedentary you are, the better it's going to be for your health, okay? Physical activity versus exercise, what that really means is exercise is more planned, like you go to the gym, where physical activity is like working in my yard, right? Now, you should have a healthy balance of those things. The less physically active you are, the more you have to rely on exercise, okay? But the more physically active you are, the less you have to rely on exercise. Jumping back to my personal life, since I basically have a lot of land now, I don't exercise as much as I used to because I'm always physically active on my property. So I stay in shape that way. Second key, real food. You got to get away from boxed, processed things. It's not real food, it's chemicals. You want to have real food that's perishable, that grows out of the ground. Okay, you should imagine the item you're eating had been being alive at some point in time. If you can do that, that's a good thing. Okay. Water. Got to drink mostly water. Your body's 90% water or more. You need to just constantly feed that beast and just drink water all day. Not sodas, not things with sugars in them. You got to get yourself some pure filtered water, maybe some distilled water, and just drink it, half the ounces of your body weight every day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be taking in about 75 ounces of water every day. Sunlight. Sunlight has many benefits mentally. Also stimulates vitamin D production, which you might have heard as being an important functionary building block of your immune system, which it is. Get out in the sunlight every single day if you can. Even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, that will be a big boost for you, okay? We are creatures who live in the sunlight. Sleep, number 5. This is where the rebuilding occurs, right? So you can do all these things, great. But if you're not sleeping, it's going to be really hard to be healthy. You've got to make sure you're getting... It doesn't have to be a certain number of hours. Different people have different lengths of time that work for them personally, but 6 to 8 hours, consistent, going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time every single day, making sure it's dark in your sleeping chamber. Those are good things as well, okay? And then lastly, you got to have happy human relationships. We are social creatures, and we're meant to interact in a positive way with each other. Without that, our human organism will suffer, okay? So, keys to health, these 6 things that we see right here. If you find that you're missing any of these and you want some strategies for how to introduce it into your life, email me and I can help you with that. I would love to, okay? Power of exercise. In addition to the prevention from chronic disease, it has a lot of benefits. It just makes you feel better, right? I had a really hard time. Here's where I was going to mention that I was a history major. I actually was in graduate school for history, and I had a tragedy in my life. My only sister, she passed away from a drug overdose, actually. She was 21 years old, and I was depressed, obviously, for a long time. But the only thing that made me feel better was exercise. And I started running, and that made me feel better. The endorphins released after a good workout helped me to manage the pain from my loss. And from that point on, I kind of decided that if exercise made me feel good, I wanted that to be my career. So that's where I then went back to school to get a degree in exercise physiology, which you're doing now. Good. Because I wanted to help other people, right? And that's the beauty of this field, I think, and this is kind of the last message I want to leave you with is if you like exercise and you can combine that love of the field with the opportunity to help other people, then you have a winning combination right there, okay? If you love what you do and you have the ability to help other people improve their health, which is what we're talking about here, you will never work a day in your life. You'll be happy to do what you do, okay? So what are some options for you? As I mentioned here, there's definitely a need for exercise professionals in the world. You cannot have health without exercise. Everyone needs to do it. Most people, though, they don't like to do it or they don't know how to do it. And that is where you as a future exercise professional can fill a role, right? You can teach people what to do. You can show them that there are fun things that they can do that they might actually like. And that can get them hooked into a life physical activity, okay? There's many important roles exercise professionals can serve: fitness, wellness coach, corporate wellness, strength and conditioning coaching, which is working more with athletic populations, therapy technicians. Those are things like physical therapy, occupational therapy clinics. Rehabilitation would fall into that as well. An advanced exercise professional would be someone who is a physical therapist or an occupational therapist or a researcher, professor, a business owner. I kind of rated these in basic, intermediate, and advanced because this is the level of dedication it'll take you to have a career in the specific path. These advanced ones, they're going to require a lot of dedication and great grades as well. So keep that in mind, okay? How do you choose? It's not something I would expect you to be able to do right away, right now. But I think one easy way is to figure out which population you're interested in working with. Okay, do you like regular people? That's what I did. I'm a regular person myself, so I related what best with other regular people, so that's the population I chose to work with. Maybe you like kids and you'd like to work with youth. Maybe you like the senior population. That's a very rewarding population to work with. Actually, I do that a little bit right now. Or special populations. Now, what that means is people who have chronic diseases, chronic injuries, diagnosed conditions. So somebody who is diabetic, for example, would be somebody in a special population. Or maybe you like athletes and you want to work with college, high school athletes. Okay, so that can help you narrow your focus. If you are not sure what you want to do, but you like a certain population, then you can explore, well, what specific jobs work within that population. Okay, so again, I'm here to help you if you have any questions about your professional prospects. I have a lot of experience in the field outside of teaching, and I'll be happy to share any of that experience with you this semester as you all are kind of growing in your exercise physiology career. So my conclusion, it is a wonderful field. You get to help people, okay? Internships are great for you all once you get to that level in your college career. Do as many internships as you can because that's where you're really going to learn what you do and don't like. Learning what you don't like is just as valuable as learning what you do like in a lot of cases. So keep that in mind, okay? Lastly, then, keep in mind if you want to go to one of these professional schools like physical therapy or occupational therapy school, you're going to need to take a lot of hard sciences and you're going to have to get good to excellent grades in those things, basically higher than a 3.0 GPA. So keep that in mind as well, okay? So let's finish up by going through the syllabus. I have a couple screenshots here to show you what we're looking at. Here's the book that we're going to use this semester. You don't necessarily have to buy this. I'm going to post all the PowerPoints on our online platform, Brightspace, for you. So you'll be able to download those and have the study materials, okay? And I say that here. So lecture PowerPoints, I'll have voiceover videos and any assignments. They'll all be available on the D2L Brightspace platform. The course content is organized by week, and there will be a series of weekly subfolders that I'll show you here in a moment. This should help you stay on top of everything from a week-to-week basis, okay? I haven't added the exams yet, but those will be coming, and those will be easy to find, and I'll remind you all where those are when we get to that point in the semester. As far as our grades, there's going to be 560 points total in this class. Here's the grade breakdown here. Oh, I just noticed my numbers here are not matching, so I apologize for that. Let me actually just exit out of here and pull up the actual syllabus. Uh-oh. That's not going to work. Okay, so let's scroll down and let me double check that number. 545 is the number. 545, 545. So that matches. 300 points from exams, 100 points each. We're going to have for each week, each chapter, we're going to have a series of lecture study questions, which is 5 questions. Each question worth 1 point for a total of 5 points each assignment. And there's 65 total points there, giving us, there are 13 lecture study question assignments. Okay. And these are always going to be due on the Friday of the given week by the end of the day. And then I'll basically grade them on the weekend. Okay. We have another assignment type is our critical thinking assignments. So there are 10 of those. Actually, sorry, no, there's only 6 of those. Those are worth 10 points each. Some chapters will have critical thinking assignments, some will not. Okay, so you'll notice on some weeks there'll be 2 assignments due, the lecture study questions for 5 points, the critical thinking assignments for 10. But we will not have one of these every week because there will be some weeks where we will have lab assignments. The lab assignments are worth 20 points each. Okay, there are 6 of those worth 120 points total. Okay, so basically you're either going to have one of these or these. You're not going to have both of these due in a given week. You're only going to have one or the other. And I'll show you that on the schedule here in just a little bit. Okay, now for the labs, there's going to be additional content for you to watch. I've posted video links of certain labs. Okay. Sometimes there's only 1 video, sometimes there's 3. It just depends upon the lab. So you'll have to watch the video segment for the lab and then complete the lab assignment. Basically, you're just going to collect data watching the lab videos, and you'll record that on the lab assignment and then answer some questions about it in a lot of cases. Okay. Now, as far as late work, here are the excused absences, okay? Excused absence, since this is an online class, basically is going to apply to missing the deadline of 11:59 p.m. on Friday of the given week, okay? So I will not accept late work unless you have a documented excuse, which is listed here, okay? I highly encourage you all to stay on top of things. I've taught at Central State for a couple semesters now, and I've noticed that students tend to fall off the wagon for weeks at a time, and they get super behind on assignments. This semester, there is no late work that's going to be allowed to be turned in, okay? If you miss a week, it's not going to kill you. You're talking about maybe 15 to 25 points at the most. But if you miss 2-3 weeks in a row, your grade is going to suffer from it, okay? And I'm not going to allow you to make it up unless you have an excused absence documented as one of these things that you see listed here, okay? So make sure you stay on top of it. Every week there's going to be something due. Just stay on top of it and you'll be fine. Okay, what else do we want to look at? Okay, here's the schedule. So I have it laid out in a very organized way. I would print this out, post it on your wall, make sure you look at it every Monday. It's going to tell you what week we're on, what the dates of the week are. This is Monday through Friday. Yeah, I had the wrong syllabus open. Sorry. Too much going on here, everyone. This is the right one. I knew those dates did not look right. Here we are. Week 1, which is where we are now, August the 16th. That's what we're looking for. Okay. So this week we have a very simple assignment due. You just need to read the syllabus, watch this video you're watching now, and then there's an introduction lecture assignment, which is basically just you telling me some personal information about you, who you are, why you're interested in this field, etc. It's very simple, okay? Once we start week 2, which is next week, so here we are August 23rd through the 27th, we're going to start chapter 5. So for chapter 5, we have lecture study questions and the critical thinking assignment that are going to be due on Friday the 27th by 11:59 p.m. Okay. For week 3 and 4, we have chapter 6 split in half between the 2 weeks. We're going to have study questions and critical thinking assignments for both chapter 6 part 1 and chapter 6 part 2. Week 5, we have our first exam. Okay, so the exam is going to be due a little earlier on Friday, 8 p.m. instead of 11:59. I do that because I don't want people emailing me at 11:59 p.m. on Friday, panicking because I'll be asleep. Okay, so I'll be awake by 8 p.m. So that's why it's due 8 p.m. where the other assignments are due by 11:59. So the whole schedule kind of works along the same path. Now notice once we get down to week 7, we have our first lab. So no critical thinking assignment that week. Instead, we have a lab assignment. And then we're going to have a lab every week for the next several weeks moving forward. Culminating really in week 12 with our last lab, lab 6. Okay? And our last exam, actually we find exam 2, that's going to be on Friday 10:15. And then our third and last exam is going to be on available for you basically this entire week of finals week for you to take online. Okay, so make sure you read the syllabus, sign it. If you have any questions, let me know. And then let me now just finish up by showing you the online platform. So I'm going to open up one of the courses. They're the same, no matter which section you're in, it looks the same. And the key thing you're going to need to look at on here is there's me, content. Click on that. And what you will see is over here in the table of contents, all of the weeks are laid out. 1 all the way through week 17. So the whole semester is already laid out for you in advance. Okay. If we click on the week 1 folder, you'll have your first assignment, which is here. Okay. Week 2, we have PowerPoint. You have the voiceover, which is a recording of me going over the lecture. You have your study question assignment, and you have your critical thinking assignment, all there, okay? Now, every folder is very much the same. I did want to show you one that has a lab in it, though. Let's look at week 7. So for week 7, we have the PowerPoint. We have the PowerPoint voiceover, but then we have a series of lab videos as well. Now, all of these are on YouTube. So when you click this link, it should take you to YouTube. You'll watch the video. And in this case, we have critical thinking questions, lecture study questions, but we also are then going to have lab 1 assignment. Okay, so you'll watch the video, you'll record data here, and then you'll answer the questions. Okay, the labs are going to be a little bit different for you, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. Okay, all right, so I think that actually does it. I will have the exams, I'll just post within the weekly folder that as indicated in the syllabus once the exams are ready. And you'll be notified that those are available as well, okay? So I think that does it. I'm going to wrap it up here, and I will come back and talk to you all next week. Take care.